What's up, everybody? Welcome to the late shift with your boy JT. Go ahead and hit the vote in the chat. I will let you guys decide what draft we hop into first. Hopefully, some of you guys will want to hop in there with me. Let's hit the intro and talk about it. What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? How's everybody's night going so far tonight? How's everybody's day? Let's see. What do we want to draft tonight? We have a vote for a super flex already. We'll give it another minute. Camps are underway. We got Debo out here running around like he's got weights in his shoes. We had Trevor Lawrence in a sling for general soreness the other day. It's on the defensive side, but one of the Texans safeties apparently went to jail today. I don't know. It's getting to that crazy time of the year. Everybody doing their sprints. I was watching off the schneid, Cody, who was on last night. I was watching his sprint draft earlier. Today, and I'm interested in it. You guys talked to me about it. I've never done the sprint. Obviously, we just came over here not too long ago, and so I've never did the sprint draft. And I've just been kind of trying to think through the strategies. I'm gonna do the little 7 draft promo or whatever. I'm a sucker for promos, but I think I'm going to do all of mine slow, at least those 7. That way I can really kind of, think it out. We got some votes for a super flex. I don't want to just keep you guys waiting all night. So we'll hop in a super flex first, maybe a schnauzer next. I did want to get one of those in maybe. But y'all know I love my super flexes also. Interesting, the Superflex is only got a 30-second clock. I feel like it had a 20-second clock the other day. I'm going to do a 30-second Superflex. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm entering it. Hopefully some of you guys will jump in there with us. We're waiting on 2 more to fill it, so should fill here pretty quickly. Let's see, is there any other camp news that I can think of that I saw that was interesting today? Why is my earbud not working? Give me just a second, guys. I'm trying to get my earbud working here. It's giving me problems tonight. Sound. Bluetooth connect. I don't know why it's not working. There it goes. All right. Anyways, waiting on, let's see, nobody filled already. We got anybody in here we recognize? Who Hames got in here with us? What's up, Who? Don't see anybody else that I recognize, but you guys recognize these names a little better than me. We're going to call it the Influencer 101. We happen to pull it tonight. I think I'm going to go Lamar. I just kind of like some of his stacking options a little bit better, I think. They removed the 20-second clock on a lot of things. Yeah, us sickos are filling it up pretty quick, huh? I've been surprised that you guys tell me, y'all been here longer than me. Are the contests filling quicker and more rapidly than they have in years past because I feel like they're filling at a pretty good rate. Some of them, I mean, that one, what was it, the German Shepherd? It was out for like a day, literally, and it was filled. Can't get Burrow share. 70 of these already. Wow. Who Hames is up there with it. I think I'm in the 20s still. I need to get more drafts in. Best ball is getting bigger. You know, it's amazing to me how many regular just think of where we could be in say 5 years, because there is so many. Like I only play in three what you would call your friends and family leagues, like the old school Yahoo leagues. I've been in them forever. Everybody's older like me, so we just stay on Yahoo. We tried to actually move to Sleeper in one of them a few years ago, and like all of us old people hated Sleeper, and so we just went back to Yahoo or stayed with Yahoo. But anyways, out of my three, and again, it's just three leagues, but out of my three home leagues, there are maybe three or four people when I was kind of asking, if people knew what it was or people were into it whenever I decided to start streaming. And out of the three leagues in the chats, like there was literally like maybe three of them that actually even really had a good understanding of what best ball was. Those three had said they had kind of played a couple contests here and there, but nothing crazy. They're not really into it. But it's crazy to me how many regular fantasy football people are out there that don't even, know about it yet. There were several of them, like guys that I know have played fantasy football for 20 plus years, and they literally asked me, "What is best ball?" whenever I was asking them about it in the chat and telling them I was going to start streaming it. Yeah, who's always putting in work, man. That guy drafts nonstop. He's an addict. I wish I had more time to draft live. I don't really like doing slow drafts that much, to be honest with you. But if I want to draft as many drafts as I would like to draft, I kind of have to do some of them slow. There's just not enough time in my particular days. Nighttime is the only time I can really sit down, and every now and then during the day I can squeeze one in here and there, live draft, but for the most part I'm limited to slow drafts and nights. Who grabbed him a Baker Mayfield at the 8 spot? And I don't know, I'm probably doing these all wrong, but once we get past the first four, super flex or not, I just can't take Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield over like Bijan Robinsons and Gibbs and even one of the elite receivers. I don't know. I always end up with the way I've been playing it from say 8 on, I always end up with three quarterbacks I feel okay with. I just take the two position players first, and then I just get quarterbacks the next three rounds. And generally I end up with like Trevor Lawrence, CJ, and then my last one isn't that good, but he's at least a starter. Most of the time, you can at least get Ward or a little better to come back to you for that third one. We took Lamar. Let's see what we would like to do with this pick. I kind of do the same thing here too sometimes, to be honest with you. Like I know everybody else is really into getting 2 to 3 quarterbacks here, but I don't know. Call me crazy, but I'm gonna take Neighbors and Achane. Nice little start for me. And if I'm willing to double tap quarterback on the next turn, which I probably will, I'll still end up with two okay quarterbacks to go with Lamar. Lamar is going to hit my lineup every week. So essentially, I'm just needing most weeks, and of course, there's bye weeks and stuff, but most weeks when all three are playing, I'm really just looking for the best score out of whatever two I take at the 4 or 5 turn. And then I got me a running back that I feel good about. You got me Neighbors. We'll see. Again, I started that statement with I'm probably doing this all wrong. Ton of room to grow in the best ball space. Tons of room, man. There are hundreds of thousands of fantasy football players who are sicko fantasy players, just like we're sicko best ball players. I mean, live, breathe the stuff, but aren't even into best ball. And as the prize pools get a little bigger, as more and more people stream it, as more and more people talk about it, I don't know. Just think of where it could be 5 years from now or so. What's up, Hartman? Good to see you in here, my man. We're in a super flex next. We can draft whatever you guys want to draft after this. I don't know what we're doing yet. Maybe two or three, at least two, maybe three. Depends on how it's going. Interested now who Hames got me wondering what he's trying to build out over there. It's got Baker with Bucky, Caleb, and Tua. Ah. Building out that week 17 Tampa Miami. I have a chain, so hopefully I don't throw too much of a damper on your parade over there. Try to stay out of your way if I can. Unless I see something I like and I want. And see this, like the guy before me has three. These two have two. He didn't take one, so I think there's a decent chance I could get two of these three right here on the turn. Call it a day. I really like it if Geno fell, which I figured he would. Do we want to go old man Rogers? He's got to play. Cam Ward will move around a little bit more than old man Rogers. I can't do Rogers. Let's go Geno and let's go Cam. Lamar's hitting my lineup every week except week 7. The other weeks, I'll take the best score out of Geno and Cam and call it a day. Why is that switched? Yeah, HN's not gonna fall too far past ADP in a room that I'm in. I'm really still on Miami. I was talking. I think it was you or somebody. I don't know. I've been talking to so many people the last couple weeks. Hartman's ripping sprint promos. Me too. I'm doing the promo, but I think I'm gonna do all 7 of mine slow just because I've never did that contest before. So I want to just jump in 7 slow drafts so I can kind of think my way through it a little bit. Pieces I wasn't aren't the normal ones. Ah, gotcha. Cam Ward has actual rushing upside. Yeah, I agree. That's why it was pretty easy choice him over old man Rogers. Yeah, he does fall in some rooms, but I was just saying I didn't have a running back, and he's not going to fall too often in rooms that I'm in because he's one of my favorite clicks to click around this price. I'm really in on him still this year. I mean, they showed that they're willing to give him a little bit of goal line work. If Gordon is maybe good like he was 2 years ago in college, he might take some work. Um, I can't think of probably the number 2 guy's name right now. It slipped my mind. Right? Is that his last name? I don't know. I don't draft him a whole lot because I'm so in on HN. And for some reason, I'm having a brain fart right now. It's been a long day. Can't think of the guy's name. Y'all help me out. But doesn't have much competition in my eyes. Jalen Wright. For some reason, I thought it was right. Yeah, I know that. I just brain fart. But I don't know. I'm in on Miami in general. I take a fair amount of Hill. I was just commenting on Cody's stream earlier about that when he took Hill. HN in regular style drafts is one of my favorite clicks to click. He's one of my favorite clicks to click too when I'm over here on this end in the super flex because I normally do like I just did. I normally take one of the top 4 guys, and then after that I grab 2 position players, and then I get my QB 2 and 3. That's just how I build them. When it first opened out, I did a couple where I didn't do that, and I took, maybe 3 quarterbacks in the first 3 or 2 quarterbacks in the first 3. I just tend to like my overall teams better for me personally whenever I build them this way. So we're going to keep building them this way. See what we want to do here. Nobody we really want to pull up. I'm not really in on Laporta. Probably no quarterbacks left at this point that I want for a 4th, but I don't even feel like I need a 4th, really, to be honest. We are probably going to go double running back here unless one of the 2 that I want goes, and Mixon just went. And that's tough because I am not an RJ Harvey guy. We might have to pull Connor up a little bit. I'm up to 42% Judkins in Superflex. Yeah, I think I like the guy. Let's go. I think we're going to go Evans, even though we already have one receiver. Sorry about that, Who. It kind of is a little play on my Miami stuff, too. Probably wouldn't have made it back to you anyways, let's be honest. Why am I? Try to refresh it real quick. Do you guys ever have where the playoff stuff doesn't like highlight like it should sometimes with the best ball overlay tool? I found last night one time I had to kind of refresh to get the playoff bringbacks to pop up like they should. It messes up fairly often. Chrome sucks is the story. So F1 will fix it. Yeah, I just hit my refresh button. It kind of looks stupid for a minute. I mean F5, not F1. Is that what you're saying, Who? Clearly, I like the Judkins pick. The tool was telling me I have 42% of him in this particular contest. getting you some nice little Tampa Miami stuff. Bucky with Baker, Tua with Hill. Good old Brock Lesnar. I used to be into the WWE many, many, many years ago before it got too crazy. I liked it way back in the day when it was just like Stone Cold and The Rock, and even Brock was there for a while. And it was easier to keep up with. It was one damn show or one damn thing, you know. They kind of lost me when they started getting into certain nights for certain sides, and Raw and SmackDown or whatever it was is different, almost like different organizations within the same organization. I don't know. I haven't watched it in years, to say the least. What is my highest exposure overall, or just like in a particular contest, or what? I'll go look in a minute on the other page, see what it is. Let's see what we want to do first with these picks. Well, if he comes to us, we got a pretty clear one right there. But then we got to get into the running backs. We need us another running back. Probably going to go. Yeah, let's go Pollard and Flowers. Nothing wrong with that. Put it back on the board for you guys. 97% Carson Steele. Everybody was, or not everybody, but certain people were trying to get everybody in on them. I'm 37% Bryant and Superflex. I got you beat. I had 42 on Judkins a minute ago, I saw for Superflex. I don't know. Let me see who my highest player is overall. Until I got the best ball overlay, I really didn't look much at my exposures, to be honest with you. Now they're just kind of there. Let's see. We're doing a Superflex, so we'll look at Superflex. My highest exposures in Superflex, my top 5 are Will Shipley at 52%, Jalen Milroe at 52%, Jatavian Sanders at 42%, and Judkins at 42%, followed closely by Pat Bryant at 38%. Those are my highest 5 or 6 guys in the Superflex contest. I've told y'all all along, I am a go get my guy and afraid to either win a lot of money with it or sometimes not. But I'm gonna do it my way, one way or the other. That's what we're here for, right? I listen to other people, but I don't let other people influence my decision. One thing I think I've always done in best ball or in fantasy in general is been my own thinker. I like to listen to content and I like to hear people's opinions. And sometimes, I like with Bowers and BBG that night, I listened to I listened to his, take on Bowers, and the one line that he said that really got me rethinking, do I really want to just be as out on him as I was starting off being? Let me make these picks and we will continue that conversation. I don't really want to do the New York quarterbacks, even though we need a tight end. So that one's pretty obvious right there. We could still use another running back because I know by the time it gets back, I don't like any of those running backs. Do we have to? Higgins at least is a little week 16. I'm really in on Higgins. I'll tell y'all, insider information alert. Woo, woo, woo. Higgins has been balling in camp. I know they're in shorts and t-shirts, but this week he is making some damn impressive catches. I saw on the little Texans um, social media stuff. Could go with Ingram. No, we already got one tight end we just grabbed. We'll go ahead and grab another receiver. I forgot what I was talking about before it got to my picks. Damn. Mark says he's into 40% Shaheed. I like Shaheed a lot too. What is my Shaheed? He's got to be somewhat up there for me on this. Where is he at? Oh, I have a lot of Shaheed, I guess, and maybe a Eliminator is where I'm thinking I have him. I only have 9.5 Shaheed in this contest. In this contest, my highest receivers are Pat Bryant, Dontavian Wicks, Keenan Allen, Tet, and Jaden Higgins. I think part of why is because of the super flex. I went on my little what are we wrong about rant one night, and I feel like we're drafting super flex correctly for the most part, with it only being two receivers that we have to start. I feel like we're valuing the running backs about how they should be in this. And most people, or the market in general, are doing a good job of pushing some of the receivers down. We don't need to start as many. Ideally, you want quarterback in your super flex. Ideally, most of the time you're going to be better off probably with the running back in your flex is kind of what it's starting to look like over the last couple of years at least. I know there's been a lot of talk about the dailies. I've never played the dailies. I look forward to playing the dailies this year. But I've heard some stuff about how like running back almost always hits the flex in the dailies, or at least the winning lineups running backs hit the flex. So if that's the case, wouldn't we be better off building our teams in a way that running backs are going to hit the flex a lot in best ball also? I don't know. But I think part of why my 4 or 5 highest percentages of receivers, they're all guys that I like somewhat later in the draft, except for Ted. I end up going with Ted as like a first receiver a lot of times in here, especially when I'm on this back end. Yeah, see, he goes right around there. And that's exactly what I do. I take 2 position players and then I take the 3 quarterbacks. So normally that's kind of right where I'm looking to get Ted. Should we just triple Lamar and get all the Ravens points? Doesn't seem like a bad idea, to be honest with you. How much is too much stacking when it's the Ravens? I think we are going to do the Bateman thing. Just trying to see what else we want to do with it. We could go Kyle Williams since he's a bring back. That would put us at 6 receivers and only 3 running backs, though. I don't need to bring back that bad. We need more running backs. Week 8. Connor's out on week 8, but we'll still have Pollard and Achane. No, I have Connor though. I don't want to do that. Let's grab White instead. I almost forgot I had Connor. I don't want Connor's backup. This team, we want Connor to stay healthy. We'll take Rashad White and hope that Bucky gets hurt. Sorry, who? I didn't mean to leave that up there. Who Hames is Carson still? 40% Shaheed. We already looked at that one. Shaheed's a great pick. Yeah, I like Shaheed. I'd have to go look at it. It must be my eliminator. I'm up in the 30s in eliminator. I think like 32 or something like that eliminators. That's what we're probably going to draft tomorrow. At least one eliminator. I actually have 40% Hall and Superflex. You know, he's a guy I need to rethink this weekend. I always talk about how on Saturdays I rethink or I just think about stuff all Saturday night and look at things and do research. I want to be in on Hall, but Glenn keeps talking about R3 running backs, R3 running backs, and I think Hall is going to be the starter. I'm not saying I don't think he's not going to be the starter, but it's just kind of worrying me. Are they really going to try to, get all three of them involved? If so, is Hall going to be able to pay off his price if he's playing, let's say, 60% of the snaps and the other two are splitting the other 40, whatever way that goes? You have Fields who's going to be running around. I don't know. What is my Hall at? Let's look at that because I want to say it's not high at all. I have 4.8% Hall in the Superflex. So about what I thought, not that much because it does kind of worry me. I haven't been able to click him a lot for that reason. Start at 128. Sure, why not? Stop giving them the values. Protect the damn integrity of the game. Hey, somebody else could. That's just not my style, Like, I don't know. It almost feels to me. Yeah, I know. I know last year the one quarterback had the monster week in week 17 and he was a backup. And last year we had a lot of quarterbacks in general that went down, but I don't know. This is not how I've liked building my teams. I like to get three guys that I feel good about. This team, they're gonna stay healthy because I draft like I'm right. If they don't, this team's probably dead anyways. Sometimes I'm not saying I always stick with just three. I'll throw on like a true backup like at the end of drafts. Let's see what we want to do here. We want to get back in the running back room a little bit. Roshan, now that Leggett's there. I don't know if we want to do that though. We only have one tight end. Yeah, we can let it end on Roshan. Henry's kind of a bring back, but I don't know if we want to do that. Could we go double running back? We can go double running back and go with my Shipley pick. I like me some Shipley. Sure, why not? I can't stop drafting the man. 3, 6, 5, 1 through 15. Lamar Gino and Cam Ward. Achane, Connor, Pollard, Rashad White, Roshan Johnson, Will Shipley. Receiver room is Neighbors and Evans and Flowers and Higgins and Bateman. Also have Andrews. We're just trying to get all that Ravens goodness. We don't have any New England. I passed up on one of them earlier. Henry probably won't come back, but if he does, we can look to try to get him. We could maybe do like some Douglas. There's some Green Bay options we could throw on there. I don't stress when I don't get week 17 bringbacks. I try to watch out for them and I try to get them whenever they fit into the particular team build that I'm going with. But I don't go like out of my way or overpay. Who Hames is filling his draft. I'm kind of liking mine too. I'm liking the way this team's turning out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I like watching Hall play football. Dude is super talented. Oh yes, me being worried about him has absolutely nothing to do with Brees Hall as a player. I don't know. We don't know about Aaron Glenn as a coach, how they're gonna be. And every time I hear the man talk, he mentions our three running backs. And so it's just got me kind of waiting till camp. Let's see how they're treating it. Is Brees getting the majority of the one work in practice where it looks like okay, he's pretty much for sure the only one, and then the other guys are fighting for the backup job, or are they the other some of the other, is Allen going to be mixing in some with the ones because they really plan on it being a little more of a committee with Hall just having the upper hand? I don't know. I'm just trying to let it play out, I guess, a little bit. Mark can't click Roshan. I just can't do it. He hasn't shown me anything. Yeah, but he doesn't have much competition now. I just started clicking him after Chubb went to Houston and Dobbins went to Philly. I mean, Denver. I don't know why I said Philly. I thought it told me my percent if I hovered over him. I guess not. I think, yeah. See, this is the first time I've taken him in a super flex because he's not showing me a percentage. So that was the first time that I've clicked him in a super flex. I just started clicking him some this past week. Why is Chig high? Oh, no, that doesn't make sense at all. I don't understand why Chig is highlighted there. He's not a bring back. How many running backs we have? 6. We could go with my other favorite guy. I'm okay taking 7 running backs into super flex. Might have to steal Hame's guy because I don't really like Dobbs as a bring back unless we see a tight end that we like. Rather wait and get him maybe or him. There's some other guys that make sense. We got Andrews and we want Andrews to be our stud. We have 3 picks left. Done at running back now. Running back room will be Achane, Connor, Pollard, White, Johnson, Shipley, and Giddens. Some studs up top, or not studs, but Achane's a stud, and then Connor and Pollard to hold the RB2 down, get some useful weeks out of White. I see Roshan Johnson and Swift, unless somebody gets traded there. Now that Dobbins and Chubb are gone, I mean, it seems like to me the most logical outcome is Roshan kind of has the Montgomery role and Swift kind of has the Gibbs role. I'm not saying they are those players. I'm saying the roles. In which case, for a running back that I just drafted at 170, essentially, he could very easily have some 2 touchdown weeks if he's the main goal line back. If Swift gets hurt, he's got even more upside. I think now that Giddens and Chubb are gone, eventually his price will creep up a little more. So, kind of for a week or so at least, until his price does start kind of creeping up more. I want to kind of just take him some, I think, when it seems like a good pick to do so with or a good team to put him on. Who passed on Milrow? Yeah, I thought about taking him a minute ago, but I wanted a little more receiver firepower, and I wanted to go ahead and be done at running back because after it gets Giddens is kind of after it gets past Giddens, there's not anybody I really like. You can see I have very, very little of these guys except for Miles Sanders. When I get desperate, I'll throw Miles Sanders on a team. I've thrown Brooks on a few super flex teams. But other than that, I try to be done because after Giddens, I don't really like much. And Marshawn Lloyd, I forgot he goes after Giddens. I do take him sometimes too. Where are we at? Coming back in the 18th. Did you end up taking him? Nope, somebody did. Who did? This guy at 198. Yeah, I passed on him that time. I have enough of him. I mean, I've had 50% of him in Superflex, so I'm still living and dying with it. Miles Sanders is mine. He's getting first team reps, I read today. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Of the group that's left, I think I had like 14% of him down there. Oh, I guess you just took him. Yeah. He's a good pick when you get down to this area of running backs. I've definitely taken him on a few teams. We have Andrew, so we can just kind of play tight end for some upside here. Throw Wicks on there as a bring back, be done at receiver 7. Take whatever tight ends left in the 20th. I think that's what we want to do. We could even keep it at 2 tight ends. It'll depend. If there's a tight end I like that comes all the way back, I'll take a tight end. If there's not a tight end, I know there'll be some kind of backup quarterback that we can take a shot on. So we will either end with a 4-7-7-2 or a 3-7-7-3. I end with 7-7 for running back and receiver a lot, it seems like. Do y'all have a particular build that you feel like you're ending up on a lot? Hey, I should go look at that on the best ball overlay thing. You know who? I'm glad it was you and Hartman and Huhames. Y'all are the two that, when I was talking to y'all about the best ball overlay tool, you two are the guys. My conversations with y'all are kind of what made me think about go ahead and getting it and pull the trigger on it. Let's see. How? Now I just got to get better at working it. Um, see, load my Superflex data. Before this draft, we had 21 Superflex. What are my builds? That's what I want to see because I feel like I end up with 7 a lot. It's pretty even. My top build in Superflex is 4 teams that are 4, 6, 7 threes. I have 3 teams that are 5-6-6-3. I have 3 teams that are 3-7-7-3. Out of 21. I'm not Who Hames. I don't have 70 of them in the books already. This is my 22nd one here. You guys put in the chat, what do y'all want to draft next? We can draft whatever y'all want to draft. Why are you so bullish on Jatavion? You talking about Wicks? Oh no, that's Jatavion. Who are you talking about? Sanders? Who are you talking about, Hartman? Jatavion Sanders? JT left the Miles Sanders comment up. My bad. Sometimes I be doing that, leaving the comments up and forgetting about them when I'm clicking around and switching on the boards and stuff. In Superflex, I'm probably that high on Jatavion Sanders, to be honest with you, because one, I know he didn't do a lot last year as a rookie, but I watched him play when he was a Horn because I am a Texas fan. I live here in Austin, and the dude has a nice little receiving skill set. He can definitely be a weapon. And I'm in on Carolina's offense this year. I think that they're going to be passing the ball a lot because they're going to be in shootout type games. Their defense is bad. The whole division, in general, the whole division is a lot of teams with not really that good a defense and could very easily get into some shootout games. What do we want to do here? We don't want to do Gray. Probably just do Ferguson and call it a day. Yeah, everybody else is gone. Or we could keep it with 2 tight ends. No, let's grab Ferguson. Why not? I'd rather have the tight end. My quarterbacks are good. Lamar is going to lead me to the promised land. Just need a usable week each week out of Geno and Ward. Never got any stacks with Geno the way it worked out. Never got any stacks with Ward either as it worked out, other than the running back. So maybe the weeks that Ward isn't hitting, it's because Pollard had some rushing touchdowns. But we got that Baltimore offense tripled up. Probably what should be 3 of the main pieces, you would think. So we feel good about that. We got a little week 17 bring back in Wicks. But to finish the Sanders thought, I don't do a whole lot of earlier tight ends. A lot of my super flex teams end up being 3 tight end teams that I draft 3 tight ends rather late. And of those guys that go rather late, he happens to be one of them. I'm curious also, yeah, Bryce Young, I have 38% of in Superflex. So it's probably because I end up taking a lot of Bryce Young as a third quarterback when we were talking about how I build Superflex teams. We just talked about at the beginning of this draft. It seems like I've had more drafts on the back end than the first end. I take the 2 position players, and so then I end up with, like, let's say I was in this 11 hole. I'll end up with like Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, and then sometimes Bryce Young will come all the way back. Earlier in the super flex, he was coming back sometimes. Now he's not. Like this particular draft, if I would have been doing my strategy, I would have gotten boxed out on that third one because Cam Ward didn't even make it back. I took him over there in the 5th, but I still could have took like Aaron Rodgers and at least had a starting quarterback as my third. But the Jatavion Sanders in the super flex, it's probably just more of the way that I have been building on going with the 3 late tight ends, and the fact that I've taken Bryce 38% of the time, I always end up tacking him on as one of my 3 tight ends, it seems like. And again, I think, if maybe this could be a breakout year for him. I know we've had tight ends that come right out the gate as a rookie, but before Laporta did it, I remember the year Laporta broke out as a rookie, people were worried about it, where he was being drafted, or just worried about what he could do in general, because, the thought up until then was generally tight ends, take a year or two to kind of develop. They don't generally, come right out their rookie year just smashing like, say, receivers or running backs do sometimes. So hey, not every tight end, is going to do that, I guess. What do you guys want to draft next? Let me know. Put it in the chat real quick. I'll catch up on some of the chat while y'all throw in what you want to draft, if you want to draft anything. All the pretty colors on my team. Let's go look at your team real quick. I didn't really give mine an official call out either. 3773 is what we ended up with. Lamar, Geno, Ward, Achan, Connor, Pollard, White, Johnson, Shipley, Giddens, Neighbors, Evans, Flowers, Higgins, Bateman, Pat Bryant, Wicks is the receiver room, Andrews, Arroyo, and we threw Ferguson on there at the end to close out the tight end room. I feel pretty good about the team. I like the team. Definitely one I think can do a little bit of damage. Who finished with the 4.763? Baker, Caleb, Tua, and Dart. Bucky, Hall, Quinshon Judkins, Scat, Rico Dowdle, Miles Sanders, and Taj Brooks. Receivers are Hill, Godwin, Rome, Ibuka, Burden, and Slayton. Tight ends are Loveland, Otten, and Higbee. You do have a whole lot of nice correlation on there. Some really nice bringbacks in the playoffs. Definitely a really good team, too. My team, I didn't have that great of correlation overall, just the way it worked out. I didn't want to reach for guys to stack with Ward and Geno, and there really wasn't a spot where I felt like one of their stacks was a good pick, other than we do have the little team stack thing, but that's not really like a receiver or a tight end. But we do feel really good about just having the Baltimore passing game for the most part, outside of old man Hopkins. Pretty decent team overall, though, in general, I think. I have some playoff bringbacks in there. We'll see how they shake out. Yes, it definitely was correlated really nicely. No, it's a good team. Nothing to really laugh about. It's a good team. But there's a guy who's been popping in my chat sometimes, who's in one of the Discords I'm in. He has a saying that he tells everybody whenever they post their drafts in the chat: "It's not a good team unless it wins us some money." And it really is true. I've had so many teams, over the last couple of years, that I remember when you draft them, you feel good about them, even through the season. They're one in the pod, all the way through week 8, 9, and then they don't even make the playoffs because you have a major injury or something like that in them. Let's go see what we want to get into next. Nobody really put anything in the chat, and we did a super flex that time. I want to do let's do a schnauzer if anybody wants to get in it. I want to do a regular style tournament. I want to get some more in here. We'll do a 20-second clock. I'm gonna go with the 30-second clock. 30-second clock. I prefer it a little better. It gives me time to think through my picks. Sometimes the 20-second clock sneaks up on me. 30-second schnauzer if anybody wants to get in it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've only gotten one in so far, so I want to get at least a few more of these in. It pretty much snap filled, so unless you were already in here, you did not make it. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to okie doke you. Didn't know that would happen that way. We are in a room with a whole lot of no badges and black badges. I don't know if I've seen that yet. Normally, there's always at least one red badge in there. This might kind of bring back my DK draft feel. Let's see, what can we switch up? Got my I'm gonna do a subscriber draft. I know most of the people in here right now are already, or half of y'all are streamers, but the ones that aren't, when we hit 100 subs, be sure to follow me over on Twitter. As I get close to 100, I'll start making some posts about it. If you drop in the comments you're interested on stream one night, I'll draw a name from anybody who's a sub that is not already a streamer of some sort. I want to give people that don't necessarily have the equipment to stream or aren't into streaming, but might want to hop on a draft and do a draft. I'm gonna do a BBM with a sub. Just trying to do a little something and just trying to be different, like I normally do. What else we got over here in my little things? Next week we got a big week. Next week, y'all know we got the big Friday thing coming up. Some of you guys are in it. Candyman will be on the channel Tuesday night with us, and Thursday night, if all works out, it's kind of penciled in, but I'm supposed to check back with them Wednesday. Steve, we finally worked out a day and time that Steve could come on the channel with us. So I'm sure we'll be drafting some Superflex that night, as he is all about the Superflex. Well, I'm gonna get somebody I like here. I can't get Lamb all the way back. I was about to say, I know I can't get Lamb all the way back there. We'll take Puka. Hate that it makes me refresh this dang thing every time. Do I gotta go and do that too? Oh no, I know what I need to do. Let's go. Make sure we're not gonna miss our pick. Trying to upload. I guess I need to do the extract team thing for the regular NFL season, because I can't get it to show my percentages. We'll run a little extract thing. Nothing wrong with the Puka start. We'll see where we go from here. Maybe we should have did a 30-second because it's going slow. Brock Bowers and Marvin Harrison at the 1-2 turn. That's different. Not necessarily the Brock, but the Marvin. I'm not super into A.J. Brown. I'm going to go Achane. We took him in the Superflex. We will take him here too because I'm all about him. Let me see. Is that thing done yet? Now will it refresh? There we go. I'm just going to look at all tournaments because I've only done one of these Schnauzer 2s, and they're all kind of the same structure or the same, like 18 rounds, 3 playoff weeks. They're all kind of the same in that aspect. We have 9% Achan and 14% Puka. Liking that. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow night. I got a little opening rant that I'm gonna make tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in at the beginning of Friday Night Lights. What's up, Disbandy? Good to see you in here, brother. Hartman says he's gonna sneak into my sub contest. I don't know if I'll even do it. We'll see. If nobody's interested, maybe I'll think of some other kind of giveaway. But I thought it'd be cool because that's part of why I got into streaming was because when I would listen to streamers and stuff, and especially when they did drafts with somebody else, I always just thought that would be so freaking fun to do. That's part of why I always try to bring in guests and stuff like that because it's cool. It's fun to like chat with people and draft with people and you know work together to build hopefully a money making squad. Let's see. I forgot to put it on the board, so we'll just leave it here because we're back on the clock anyways pretty soon here. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Hmm. Be even better if we had some Gibbs. You know, another guy this weekend that I realized I want a lot more of because I have him in some eliminators, but I do not have him at all, it looks like, in regular contest. We're going to do the Rams double. I haven't did it this year at all. Clearly, if I haven't drafted Adams in a regular style tournament. I'm it's weird, and that's part of why I do my Saturday night thing. I take streaming off and I just kind of look over stuff because I really think Adams could have a really big year there. And I know I've taken him some in the eliminators, but I feel like luckily we're early in the draft season still for the most part, because I feel like it just hasn't really worked out where I've been able to get Adams as much as I want to get Devontae Adams. In the eliminator, I have 13% of him. So I knew I had him somewhere. It just must all be in the eliminator, or maybe I have some of him in a super flex too. But we definitely want to get him some here. I probably wouldn't start a lot of teams with Puka and Adams, but I thought he was the best pick on the board, and let's have some fun with it and see how we can make the team turn out. Let's see. I've been going with that other beat, like get the duck back in it. Right? We don't want another week 8, that's for sure. I take my fair share of elite quarterbacks. I have 19% Lamar in regular style tournaments and 19% Jaden. I like that. Don't mind if I do. I was thinking about taking Lamar there if he stayed. Do we want to do that? Sure. We're going to need more wide receiver firepower. Having both the Rams, we can't count on both of them to have monster weeks. Hopefully, they kind of ping pong just right where one of them has a monster week most weeks. So we want to make sure our receiver room is nice and strong, I think, with this particular build. So we'll take Ted. Sets us up a nice little Bryce Young as a late QB option. One of our QBs, at least. We were going to take Lamar there if he came to us, but he went right before us. We'll see how it goes. Tonight must be the get my guy night. Taking Achane in both the drafts. Talked about or told myself this past weekend we wanted to get more Adams. So we got him. I love clicking Tet. What do we want to do when it gets back to us? Somebody will take Jalen, so I won't have to worry about even making that decision. Or maybe they won't, because the next two guys, if this guy doesn't take him, they're going to leave me with a decision, I think. Because I doubt they go two quarterbacks. We could take Jalen and add Goddard as one of our tight ends. He won't make it back around to me. Mixon was one of the guys I thought about taking in place of him. We're going to go ahead and grab him. We'll grab Jalen as one of our quarterbacks. We know we're going to try to get Stafford, of course, but we're going to try to push Stafford since we have Puka and Devontae. We're going to try to get Stafford at a nice price. We're kind of in the middle of the board, too. That's nice, so we won't have to worry about, being on the end and trying to push him and having him come way back. We can just try to push him depending on how many quarterbacks are still on the board. Get him at a decent little value, but make sure we get him. We definitely want to try to get him since we have Puka and Adams. But if for some reason this room with a lot of no badges and only black badges takes him without having Puka or Adams, at least we have Hurts, so it wouldn't be like the end of the world for us. Peace out, Who. We'll talk to you later, my man. What did that guy do over there at the 12 hole? He started with the Bowers and Marvin Harrison, Worthy and J-Mo. Then he took Burrow unstacked out of nowhere. That didn't make a lot of sense either. He is just over there living his best life. What do we want to do here? I don't like RJ Harvey. You're not going to make me take him. We could pull Judkins up a little bit if we have to. That's who I'd rather take. I don't want Fat Debo. No, thank you. Jacoby Myers in the slot, I heard today. That could be really interesting. It's a week 15 bring back for Philly. So we snuck him in there at the last minute. See what comes back around to us. If you haven't already, hit that like, of course. It does help us out. We're here drafting 6 nights a week for you guys. I still want to try to sneak in some daytime drafts. This week has just been really crazy. I've had all kind of stuff going on this week. We had a big storm last night, and it did something to one of the main boards inside of one of our AC units, and it kind of got fried out, and had the maintenance guy over here trying to fix it and stuff today. Kids have crap going on every day. 2 of them had eye doctor's appointments today. It's been a busy week. But one of these days, if I can find a little quiet hour or two during the day, I want to pop in with some daytime streams too. Haven't been able to make it work yet though. All right, what do we want to do here? We could go with our boy Hawkinson. He is my guy. 33% of him in regular tournaments. I guess you could say he is my guy. We could get Shakir, even though I'm not super in on Shakir. Does kind of give us a nice little bring back. We don't want to get too far behind at running back, but we can wait one more turn for running backs, I think. No quarterbacks that we want to take. I'm not super in on Johnson. We could go Shakir for the bring back. Or we could take Swift for a little upside with the running back. Shakir, I do not really like Buffalo's playoff schedule, though, at New England. Good, he went. I didn't really want to take Shakir, so I'm kind of glad he went, to be honest. We could go with Ayuk for some late season upside. Doesn't necessarily correlate. But he also might come back to us. Let's go Swift. We don't want to get too far behind at running back. Let's go Swift. How you liking your sprint teams, Hartman, if you're still around? You putting some winners together? Do you just try to get like, I'm curious your strategy for the sprint. Do you just kind of get like, of course, your team stacks and then try to get just as much of any kind of playoff bringbacks for them as you can? Is that kind of the way you build them? That's kind of what I'm thinking for the most part. Again, I've never played in it. Don't we all? Don't we all? I don't know. I'm going to do all my 7 of them for the little promo slow. I'll probably do some live ones like later on in the summer. But I want to run these first 7 slow. What's up, Snide? Caught some of the first part of your stream tonight. Then I got busy with dinner stuff. Thanks for popping in, though. We appreciate it. Let's see. We're trying to do some things with this team. We did the Puka start, and then we felt like Adams was the best click on the board, so we went ahead and did the Rams double. See if we can't get old man Stafford to fall a little bit. We liked Hurts. I think me and you were talking about last night how when we have a quarterback like that, we're both kind of the 2 quarterback build type people. There you go. Let me get my guy a few picks past ADP. Y'all know what that means. We have a My Guy alert. Hawkinson is a My Guy. Let's see. We don't need that yet. No, stop it. Where we at? 2-4. We need to get back in the running back room with this next pick, I believe. There's a couple. I like all three of the top guys. Hopefully one of them will come back to us. There goes one of them. I got to get more time. I have about, I don't know, there's about, just off the top of my head guessing, there's about 10 or 12 guys that are just what I would call my guys this year that I want to make clips for. I only have 2 of them made so far because I haven't had the time to make the rest, but hopefully this weekend I can get some time to work on it. I'm glad you like it though. Thank you. So far, we just have Hawkinson's the only one we've got to play on stream so far. We have not drafted the other My Guy in the last 2 nights, and I just got him made 2 days ago. We're working on. We'll maybe tomorrow. I might have a little time tomorrow to get some more of them made. We'll see how the day goes. Hope Scat falls here. Scatterboo would be the pick. Unless this guy takes him. We need a running back. Let's do it. It gets us up to 3 running backs. We're nowhere near old man Stafford yet. So we don't have to worry about quarterback for a while. We also want to keep an eye on Goddard when he comes around, but we got a little bit before we have to worry about that one also. Guess we could have put it back on the board. Hartman, were you on with Candyman tonight, or was that a different night that I saw advertised? Are you going on there like tonight, tomorrow night, something like that soon? I thought I saw an advertisement for like a scheduled stream with you and him. It goes Dak. Man, that 12 hole is just living his best life. Look at this. Started with Bowers and Marvin Harrison, Xavier Worthy, J-Mo. Okay. Then he went Unstacked Burrow, Rome, Patrick Mahomes, Baker, Evan Ingram, and then Dak as a 4th quarterback. Whew. He is making us black badge bros look bad, man, bad. We can wait one more time on that. It's not really much correlation there. Don't really like that. Let's go Keon Coleman. It's a little bring back. We don't have a lot of him. He plays on a good offense. I passed on Shakir because I don't like unless I have Josh Allen. I don't like Buffalo's playoff schedule to have like random receivers from his team without Josh Allen. But he's far enough down. He was our 5th receiver. So he can be a spike week guy that just helps us get there. Even if he has a quiet week 15 and 16, maybe he does something against Jalen Hurts in the week 17 game. Obviously, we didn't have Devontae or AJ Brown. We are going to try at some point to go through the ADP to throw Goddard on there. I also want to keep an eye on old Matty Stafford for our second quarterback. We probably shouldn't go with just those 2 quarterbacks, but I really don't like drafting 3 quarterbacks whenever I have a Hurts. I guess if I was to do it, a team like this, maybe taking like Bryce Young and Stafford. But I wouldn't want to take Bryce Young first, and Stafford goes a little bit after him. So I'm probably just going to stick with the original plan like I normally do. Normally, if I have Hurts, Daniels, Allen, or Lamar, I know there's a lot of people starting to want to do 3 quarterback teams, even with those guys. I would have to go through all my teams to know for sure, but I don't think that I've taken a 3 quarterback team with them. Oh, nice. This will probably I'll make this one. I think this is probably gonna be my last one then. So I'll try to watch you for a little bit, my man, before I head to bed tonight. Are you not going on there soon? For some reason, I thought I saw a post about you and him together. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. We could get Ray Davis to go with Coleman because we definitely like having parts of Buffalo's offense in general. I am not a Jack Bech guy. Let's see. Goddard is at 140 and Stafford is at 160. I'm just going to let the clock go off on Ray Davis because that's who I want anyways. And we're going to hope that we can get Goddard right there at 138. And then I don't know. We were originally thinking push Stafford, but if I could get him right around ADP at 162, we'll probably just go ahead and take him. Because by that point, if we did try to push him, since we're going to keep it at 2 quarterbacks, if we did try to push him, then we would be stuck with probably like an unstacked Geno or Ward, miss out on our nice little double that we've been setting up for the second QB. So I think that's what we're going to do. Hold on, I need to write something down real quick. So how many sprints are you up to, Hartman? I'm assuming you're getting 7 in the next couple of days. I think it's tomorrow, actually, right? It ends tomorrow. The end of the day tomorrow, they said. All right, let's see. We got Goddard to come back like we wanted, probably, unless this guy takes him. So that will at least give us a little stacky stack. We took Hawkinson. We could even leave it as a 2 tight end team if we need be with this one. Take the extra bullets somewhere else. Maybe we still throw a third one on. We'll see. Now, we'll see if we can't get Stafford to come around to the 162 pick. There's a couple quarterbacks. The one thing that's scaring me, though, is that dang 12 hole took 4 quarterbacks already, which just kind of shortens the pie. The 8 hole only has 1, but it's Lamar. What other receivers does he have? Tennessee, so if Ward's still there, he would be a lot more likely to take Ward over an unstacked Stafford. He also has some New York stuff. And these other guys have 2 quarterbacks. Yeah, so we think, oh, well, there goes Stafford unstacked. There goes that plan. We still got the receivers, though. Why would that guy do that? Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown. But this guy over here in the 12 hole took the unstacked Burrow. So he said, whatever, I'm going to take an unstacked Stafford as my 3rd quarterback. But, I don't get mad when people do that because, Stafford doesn't run anyway. So it would have been nice to have it. But, I can still get the points from Puka and I can still get the points from Adams. We have Tet, so we'll just pivot to Bryce. Almost want to take Leggett first, but this room is scaring me with quarterbacks. The other guy I really think would take Cam Ward first, though. I'm going to try to push it one more time because I like Leggett a lot too this year. He's one of my favorite. Clearly, you can see by my percentages. I take him a lot as a late spike week guy. And I think we're going to need some good spike week guys on a team like this. Since we did take Puka and Adams, we can't count on our first 2 receivers probably both smashing in our lineup every week. Kind of hoping with them that it's one of them that really smashes each week. Maybe they ping pong, or maybe the weeks that Adams has a really good score, Puka still has a usable score. So we like guys on a team like this, like Coleman and Leggett. Somebody took Stafford unstacked. Where is the Thielen drafter at? Tell me he's on the other side of the board. Or is Thielen still on the board even? I guess maybe. Oh, Thielen's still on the board. So if Thielen makes it at least to the 12 spot, which he did. So unless the 12 spot takes 5 QBs, then I think there's a pretty good chance we played that right and we should get Leggett back. Unless somebody wants to take Bryce unstacked. We'll see. Hopefully he comes back and that'll be the pick. If not, we can take Geno at least since he plays Philly in week 16. And I got a guy that I would throw on at the end of the draft with Geno if that happens. We only have 4 running backs, so eventually we want to get us some more running backs too, but we're not really down here to that little grouping that I like. Tua is still on the board too, so there goes Bryce Young. So much for that plan. Hopefully Gino doesn't go also, and we can at least get him. Because we really didn't want to have to take Tua. Glad that guy took Cam Ward. We'll go with Gino. And give me 1 second, guys. So far, we're at a 2-4-6-2. Jalen Hurts and Gino, Achane, Swift, Scatterboo, and Davis is our running backs. Puka, Adams, Tet, Jacoby Myers. Oh, I forgot we drafted Jacoby Myers. Look at that. We got a stack out of it after all. Coleman and Leggett. I forgot I had Myers on this team, so that kind of worked out nicely for us. Hawkinson and Goddard as our tight ends. That worked out nicely for us. I totally forgot I drafted Myers. I was just about to say, and I still might do it, throw old what's his name? Tucker on the team, because I saw a little camp news today that Jacoby Myers has been running in the slot a lot. And Tucker and what's the other guy's name? Gordon, maybe? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Have been kind of the primary two outside receivers, which means all the Jack Best slappies, truthers out there. Oh no. If Myers is primarily playing the slot with the other two on the outside, it might be a little bit before Besh hits the field. We need to get us another running back. Some of the guys that we like should be on the board here for our next pick. We're going to keep it at 2. We're going to keep it at Gino and Hurts. So it would make even more sense to go ahead and throw Tucker on there at the end. Near the end. I don't know if I've even drafted him. Where is he going? Yeah, 215. You should be able to get him right near the end. Raiders have a nice little playoff schedule, kind of. I mean, at Philly, at Houston, that's going to be a tough one. But then, of course, they got the Week 17 Dome game. What are we at? 6 receivers? We can definitely do 8 receivers with this team. We could try to throw Slayton on there, too, at some point. If we can get Slayton to come back to us, which he should. But we want to go running back here. We could keep with the team stack and go with Shipley. Kind of seems like a nice little thing to do. It's a schnauzer. Let's try some new things out. That's why we did the Puka and Devontae on the same team. Somebody took Stafford ahead of ADP unstacked and kind of threw that Stafford double stack out the window for us. But we're making do. We're trying to finish this off. It'd help if you guys could see the bottom of the board. What we're working with? The 2-5-6-2. We're going to keep it Hurts and Gino at quarterback. Running back, we're up to 5. Achane, Swift, Scatterboo, Davis, and Shipley. Puka and Adams. We missed out on the double, like we just said, because someone took Old Man Stafford ahead of ADP, unstacked. Ted, Jacoby Myers, Coleman, and Leggett. Hockenson, the my guy, and Dallas Goedert to go with Hurts. We got a couple nice options coming up for this pick. I was originally thinking go ahead and take Slayton for the bring back. Which we still might do that because that kind of makes the most sense. Yeah, I like Giddens a lot too, but for this particular team, that makes the most sense. We're going to try to get Tucker with one of our last picks. So then our backup plan after Stafford got stacked, we took Geno. We already had Myers. We're going to try to throw Tucker on there at the end for a little Geno double. So getting Slayton for that week 17 correlation. It's kind of nice. We got Coleman and Ray Davis as kind of week 17 bringbacks to Hurts. Pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. It's nicely correlated team. We're liking it so far. We'll call it out full again at the end. A few more picks left. We're working through the 17th. Probably going to end it for sure, probably 8 receivers because we're going to try to attack Coleman on there. Probably a 6th running back over a 3rd tight end, but I guess it just kind of depends what's on the board. The 12 hole was pretty wild in this draft. We'll look at it in a second again. He did some really, really wild stuff. Tucker's far enough down the board that we can wait, I think, on him. So then we could go with Marshawn Lloyd. Or we could go with Sanders. I think we're going to just stick with the 2 tight ends. Or we could go ahead and go 3 and tack on Theo Johnson. Swift, Scatterbo, Ray Davis, Shipley. I think we're going to go ahead and take Tucker here because I'm still deciding. Theo makes the most sense from a week 17 standpoint. Maybe Jalen helps us get to week 17, but maybe that Buffalo game. But I got the Buffalo game stacked up too. But I really don't want to go with 3 tight ends. I really would rather just keep it with Hockenson and Goedert. It's kind of that point where I really would like another running back with those 5. So I'm probably going to go running back and probably going to go Miles Sanders, I think. Because he might actually end up being the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys if Javonte is as dust as everybody thinks he is, or as everybody is saying he is. We'll see. He's getting back to us, winding it down. If you haven't smashed the like yet, go ahead and smash the like for us. It really helps the channel out a lot. Tomorrow we'll be back with our Friday Night Lights series. Not sure what we'll be drafting. I know I'm going to do an eliminator probably first, and then either a Schnauzer or Superflex probably. We'll see. If there's people that want to draft with me, I always tend to go with whatever they're in the mood for, just because it's fun when you get a few people in the room. I don't think we're going to have a guest tomorrow night, but maybe we'll try to bring a surprise guest in or something. I don't know. We'll see if I have time to reach out tomorrow to someone. We're going to finish it off, it looks like, with our 6th running back. We're going to go ahead and take Sanders as long as this guy doesn't grab him for a 7th. We'll call our team out, and then we're also going to call out that 12 hole because he was doing some really wild stuff. We'll take Miles Sanders. Team ended up as a 2-6-8-2. Hurts and Geno at quarterback. Devon Achane, Swift, Scatterboo, Ray Davis, Shipley, Miles Sanders at running back, Puka and Adams at receiver. We tried to set up the Rams double. Someone took old man Stafford unstacked. That's okay. Ted Myers to go with Geno, Coleman, Leggett, Darius Slayton for the bring back, Tucker for the double stack, Hawkinson and Goddard as our tight ends. We have some pretty nice team correlation going on. We have some nice little bringbacks for week 17 going on. We're liking that squad right there. Now, let's go and look at the 12 hole and see what not to do in a best ball draft, folks. He went with the 4-4-5-5. Burrow, Mahomes, Mayfield, and Dak. Running back room of Jaden Blue, Trey Benson, Roshan Johnson, and Marshawn Lloyd. That is it. He does not probably have a starting running back on his team unless you want to consider Roshan, who might be in a split with Swift, as a starter. That is a true 0 RB team. Wide receiver room, Marvin Harrison was his 1-2 turn pick with Worthy and J-Mo and Rome and Lockett. I guess he got Worthy with Pat Mahomes, can be something he's proud of. Brock Bowers, Evan Ingram, Pat Freiermuth, Mike Gesicki, and Kay Otten for the classic Bowers with 3 other tight ends in the same room build. This, my friends, is what we do not do in best ball. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for paying the rake. We're going to get out of here on that note. Have a good night, guys. That was not my team. That was just the 12 hole that we called out because we thought it was a pretty bad build worth calling out. You guys have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow with our Friday Night Lights.